you know, it makes sense why it's hard to achieve your goals or to be successful, whatever you describe your success as. It makes sense why it's hard because of the never ending loop, never ending psyops, you know, the never ending, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Bombardments, bombardments, that system, that the system has been, putting in your head all the years, going to school, obeying the law and everything, the news, it makes sense how society expects you to be, expects you to be, who you become, the culture, everything. It makes sense. It makes sense why achieving success is hard, because you not only have to find out a way to be successful, but you first have to, find out a way to free your mind. And I'm not speaking in, like, the Matrix and, in, the movie and everything. Like I'm serious, you know. You first have to free your mind because it's been fed. It's been fed. I don't want to say lies, but it's been fed a different truth, I guess. You know, a different reality. It's a psyop, right? So, in order for you to find success, you have to first construct new truths or new realities in your mind. Not completely, but adapting new ones, alongside with the ones you already have installed. Now, I'm not saying not everything about the Matrix, the system is bad. No, 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 no. In fact, I would argue that, the system is good in a way, because, all the laws and rules, without them, it's a John Wick quote, without the rules, we live with the animals. So, just imagine if life was the same as, back in the old days, in medieval times. Just imagine, you know, kingdoms always going to wars, people always killing each other left and right. There were less laws than there are now, and violence always seemed you know, to occur left and right. Kingdoms invading other kingdoms, you know, death everywhere. It was crazy, man. It was crazy, you know, it was crazy. And then, when Jesus Christ was born, everything, I guess, changed. All the violence, all the, you know, bad things, the worst, came to an end, or at least it decreased. Bad things happened less after the birth of Jesus Christ, and there's, you know, all the stories, his mission and everything. Everything came to a halt. It decreased. So, and then I guess new laws were founded. After that, and until now, there are many rules and laws now, which is good. I truly believe it's good. It's good. Peace is now fridge. Peace is now. There's more peace now than there was back then, I guess. So yeah, it's all the rules and laws play a very important part. But yeah, if you want to be successful nowadays, it's I guess it is very easy. Now I'm speaking as a guy who hasn't achieved success, but I will. It's inevitable, and achieving success now, it's I'd say it's easy. It's easy, but it's hard also. Because now more than ever, it's a mental challenge, not so much like a physical challenge. You have to be strong. You have to know how to fight. All those things. You have to have combat skills. No, no, no. It's not much of that. Although it is important for a man to be capable of violence, I guess. You know, but now it's more of a mental game. You know, than it used to be. I'm not saying it never was a mental game. No, no, no. I'm saying it's more of a mental game than it used to be. You know, back then in medieval times, in the old days. But then again, it's a challenge. You know, as we discussed in my previous videos, it's a challenge because there's a lot of information on the internet, social media, everywhere. It's a lot of information. And what's even more crazier is that you can find this for free, on the internet. There are books everywhere, PDFs about money, you know, about whatever skill you want to learn. It's a lot of information, man. YouTube, you can watch tutorials if you want to be a a mechanic. I'm sure there are tutorials on YouTube if you want to be whatever you want to be, man. Whatever skill you want to be. If you want to be a salesman, there are tutorials on YouTube, people teaching you how to sell. If you want to be a marketer, there's also tutorials on YouTube teaching you how to market. There's a lot of skills you can pick up from the internet. A lot. Copious amounts of information. So Now the challenge is, it's not, learning a new skill, I guess. That's not the challenge. The challenge is focus. The challenge is discipline. The challenge is, having to be disciplined and focused so that you don't get distracted by all this information. You just have to, you know who you are and what you want, the kind of skill you are passionate about, and focus only on that skill, on that one thing. That's the challenge. You know, I know it's it's amazing to, you know, you think to yourself, oh man, I want to know all these skills, man. I want to be a marketer. I want to be a salesman. I want to be, I want to do this and this. I want to be a mechanic. You want all these things because they are free on the internet. They are all over the internet. You can learn from anywhere. But that's the trap. Now that's the challenge. You know, focusing on many things at once. It's kind of like, you know, that example where they fill multiple cups with water. You know, they don't. They have to fill all the cups at once, and oh man, I messed that up. I can't explain, bro. But you get the point. When you fill multiple cups with water, at once, the cups will not get full, fast. Oh man, no, bro. You know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say. But anyways, yeah, it's if you focus on multiple things at once, it takes longer to, I guess, find success rather than focusing on one thing. Yeah, you know, if you focus on one thing, it's much faster. It's If you focus on one thing and go deep, go deeper and deeper, scope everything about that thing. Go deep down to the dirt, to the mud. Understand everything about that thing, that one skill. You know, and you will be valuable in this world, in the marketplace. You will be valuable. You know, it's better than focusing on many things at once, and not actually having the core skills or the fundamentals of those multiple skills. You know, come on, I'm sure you can understand me, man. Try, bro. I'm trying to make sense. But yeah, nowadays it's all about mentality, man. It's a mind game. You have access to all this information. You know, you want different skills. You want multiple skills, and the best thing you can do for yourself is focus on one skill and be very good at it, master it. And then once you've done that, you can hop on to the next skill. Now I know it may take some time to master one skill, you know. So you have to make sure it's a pretty good skill. You cannot just, you know, learn a skill just because you like it. It's not about liking something. No. I mean, if you really like, doing what you know, learning that skill, then you can do it fine. But if you want to achieve success, quickly, then you have to, have to do your research first. Okay, what skill is more valuable nowadays in 2025? And then they tell you maybe that says trading, trading. Okay, trading. Boom. Okay, you do research, man. You do research. What is the potential of me making money with this skill as quickly as possible? 1 year, you do your research, man. What skill is more valuable right now in the marketplace? You know, that kind of research. And then you learn that skill and then you master it. You don't have to, wait to master it in order for you to start making money. No, you just have to know the basics and then you can monetize it. And then as you monetize that skill, as you build on your fundamentals, as you build on that skill, you know the basics, as you understand the basics, you master it on a different level, and then as a result your value for knowing that skill increases. So does the money that you earn from it until you master it. And then of course you'll earn much more if you master the skill. And then once you've mastered it, you can move on to the next skill and build on top of your first skill, you know, which is more money for you, more money for you. But yeah, it's a mind game nowadays. It's a mind game. You have to learn how to focus. You have to learn how to be disciplined. You should work hard, work smart and hard. You know, and yeah, yeah. Well, I guess that's it from me today. I'll talk to you tomorrow or today. I'll talk to you later. Peace.